Hi there, my name is Jon Hummel, and I'm with the National Foundation for Gun Rights. I wanted to take a quick moment to update you on our lawsuit against the City of San Jose's unconstitutional gun tax. So before we get into it, I want to give you some background into where this lawsuit came from. So in the summer of 2021, we got wind that San Jose was looking to pass this ordinance. And so immediately in July, we sent them a cease and desist letter informing them that if they did something this stupid, we were going to sue them. Well, true to form, in January of 2022, they passed this ordinance. And so in that same month, we filed a lawsuit against it. Now, here is what the ordinance does. It requires every gun owner residing in the city of San Jose, with certain exceptions, to obtain and maintain a city-issued document evidencing payment of an annual fee and attestation of insurance coverage for unintentional firearm-related death, injury, or property damage. So basically, there's two parts. One, you have to pay an annual fee to own firearms, and two, it forces gun owners to purchase liability insurance. Now, if you were to apply this to any other part of the Bill of Rights or any other constitutional guarantee, you realize right away how ludicrous this is. Imagine paying an annual fee for the right to speak. Or what if you had to buy insurance just in case you said something wrong? That would all be completely unconstitutional, and there is no difference when it comes to the Second Amendment. So after we started this lawsuit, we actually found out that there was another entity suing over the same ordinance, but they were suing for completely different reasons. The Howard Jarvis Taxpayer Association was also suing, but they were suing because they really hate taxes. And so when we found out that we were both suing over this, the courts decided that they wanted to consolidate our cases. So in September of 2022, the case was consolidated with the Howard Jarvis Taxpayer Association. And you know what? We hate taxes as well. And as long as we get rid of this ordinance, we were happy to join with them in this lawsuit. You may notice a few problems with this ordinance, which is exactly what we're going to get into right now. First, there are issues with the insurance mandate, which has actually been active since January 1st of this year. So under the new standard that was brought about by the Bruin case, which happened in the summer of last year, the Second Amendment is presumptively presumed to be protected from any law that implicates the Second Amendment. And in order to justify a law, a historical precedent from the time the Second Amendment was written needs to be established in order for that law to be justified. Now, unfortunately for the city of San Jose, they are on record as declaring this insurance requirement as the first of its kind in the nation. Right off the bat, they completely undermine their authority to charge this tax, and our lawyers jumped on that issue right away. And in our recent consolidated Second Amendment complaint filing, we show that there's another glaring issue with this requirement. We write, the ordinance does nothing to ensure that insurance companies will provide policies specifically covering losses arising from accidental firearm use for any and every citizen who is subject to the ordinance, which means the city's insurance mandate would establish a precondition to gun ownership that empowers for-profit insurance companies, with or without government pressure, to prohibit persons from exercising their Second Amendment rights. In other words, you cannot leave the right to exercise a constitutional right in the hands of a self-interested third party. This leaves the citizens of San Jose completely exposed to abuses ranging from price gouging to complete and utter denial of service. This is an unthinkable burden to a constitutional guarantee. The second part of the ordinance, the fee, has essentially blown up on the launchpad. So to try and avoid this from being shown for what it is, which is a tax on a constitutional right, the city of San Jose called it a fee and wanted it to be collected by a third-party nonprofit organization. The third party would then assumedly use that money to promote some form of gun safety, either through messaging or through programs. Well, the big problem with this is that you cannot have a tax or fee collected that goes to promote a specific message. That's called compelled speech and has a great deal of legal precedent that prevents and forbids it from happening. The judge that's assigned to our case is not a fan of the Second Amendment. It's been very clear through our briefings and hearings that she doesn't really like the idea of people owning guns, but she hated the idea of violating the First Amendment with compelled speech. In fact, in one of the hearings, she basically told the city of San Jose that if they try this, it's not going to end well for them. The other problem is that no third party wanted to touch this. They didn't want to be a part of this. In the January status report brief that San Jose submitted, they stated they had reached out to thousands of companies and organizations initially, and no one responded. So then they did a resend later on, and they got one company that responded. But the big problem with them is that they were not a nonprofit. They had no plan with how to use the money, and they didn't even complete the form properly or in its entirety. That kind of all begs the question, why are these nonprofits so hesitant to help out and collect this money? Well, it may have something to do with the fact that we made it very clear to anyone and everyone who were to help collect this tax and fee that we were going to sue them as well. The city stated this in their status report. When there is further material development in the city's ordinance implementation efforts, including its effort to contract with a nonprofit organization, the city will promptly update the court by filing further status reports. In other words, they have no idea how they're going to make this work, but they'll let us know eventually when they figure it out. This is a massive victory because it really could not have happened without the help and support of our members. We were able to kill half of this ordinance before it was even able to start, thanks to your help. We are just so thankful for all that you're doing. But we still have a lot of work left to do with the insurance side of things, and we are working hard to make sure that gets struck down as well. You know, a victory here will not only help protect the people of the city of San Jose, but a good ruling can prevent this kind of garbage legislation from spreading across the country. So I want to just thank you again for your help and support in getting half of this struck down already. We would love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. If you want more information on other things that we're doing, be sure to head over to gunrightsfoundation.org and you can read more on what we're doing there. Thanks again for your support.